Hello guys, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we'll be looking on to how to solve the add two numbers problem in Leetcode. So now let's see what the problem states exactly. Okay, so according to the problem, you are given two non-empty linked lists representing two non-negative integers. The digits are stored in reverse order and each of their nodes contain a single digit. Add the two numbers and return the sum as a linked list. You may assume that the two numbers do not contain any leading zero except the number 0 itself. Okay, so basically this is our example. So what they want us to do is they want us to do 342 plus 465, whose answer will be 807, and they want us to flip 807 to 708 and give the answer, right? So yeah, so now let's move into the explanation part of this particular question and see if you guys can understand that or not, and after that we'll be going towards the coding part. Hey, so now let's see how to solve this problem. Like, it's a comparatively easy problem to solve. Alright, so now let me just take the example that they took. So basically 2, then 4, and then 3. So this will be our L1, alright, our linked list number 1. And the second linked list they gave is 5, 6, and 4. This will be our linked list number 2. So they want us to reverse the numbers of L1, L2, add them, and then get the answer and give the answer in the reversed form. So it might be a bit complex to understand, so I'll explain that. They want us to reverse L1, so the reversed version of L1 is 342, plus the reverse version of L2, that is 465, whose answer is, let me see, I think it is 708. Yes, it is 807. I'm sorry, it's 807. So they want us to give the answer as 708. So how do we do this? Now you could either reverse the whole thing, add it, then reverse the answer. There is one more easier way to do this. So let's talk about that way. So okay, now what happens if we add the things on the spot? So what happens if we add 5 and 2? If we add 5 and 2, we get 7. Alright? Then if we add 6 plus 4, the answer is 10, right? But it's a 2-digit number. So we'll put 0 here and put 1 carry over to the next node. So now next node will be 4 plus 3 plus 1, which was the carryover, and the value will be 8. So this is the answer, right? So it's actually that easy. So you could solve it this way instead. But how do you do it? So let me let me explain that. So now the name of the first linked list is L1, name of the second linked list is L2. What should we name our answer linked list? I'll name the answer linked list as answer, alright? So let me first draw a line. Okay. So now what do we do? Now after we do this, we want, okay, so we want to save, we have to make a variable which will have the original value of answer, basically our linked list. So we'll name that variable as head. So head will be having the original value of answer, because when we put the answer like inside all our while loops and all, its value will be like constantly changing. So head will be having the original value. All right, okay. So after we make head, we need to make a variable called carry. So carry will be informing us the carryovers we have. So the default value of the carryovers, let's keep it at 0. All right, so now the carryovers are 0. So now how do we begin? The first thing is we have to make our answer list node. How do we make our answer list node? We can just do answer equals list node bracket 0. So what this will do is this will make us an answer list node. So it will give us something like this. All right, it'll give us something like this, a plain circle. So what we have to fill it with, we'll do it now. So the first thing is we'll be running a while loop. The while loop will check if L1 has any elements, or L2 has any elements, or if carry has any elements, because we want to fill this only if there are any elements in carry L1 or L2, right? Okay. So in the first case, our both L1 and L2 has some elements inside. So we'll have two main if statements. So the first if statement will check if L1 has any values or not. If L1 has any value inside of it, we'll do something like carry plus equals L1 dot val. So in this case, like when the program begins, L1 dot val will always be equal to the first node of the linked list, right? So in this case, L1 dot val will be 2. So carry plus equals L1 dot val, it will basically mean 0 plus 2, that is 2. So now the value of carry is 2. Then we'll do something like L1 equal to L1 dot next. Why do we do this? Because when the loop runs again, we like want to add the second node, right? Like we want to add 6 plus 4, like we don't want to add something like 6 plus 2. So we need to move that dot val forward to the next node. So we do L1 equals L1 dot next. So we'll do this exact same thing for L2 as well. We'll check if L2 has any elements. If L2 has any elements, carry plus equals to L2 dot val. So as I mentioned, L2 dot val will always begin from the first node in the beginning. So carry is equal to 2 now. So now the new value of carry will be equal to 2 plus 5, that is 7, right? So now the value of carry is 7. Then we'll do L2 equals L2 dot next. So I forgot to remove this. In the first, when I did L1 equals L1 dot next, the pointer will come here, and now L2 equals L2 dot next, the pointer will come here. Okay, so now we'll erase all this. Let me erase this. Yeah, okay. Oops, I didn't mean to erase that. Okay, we'll have this circle here. So now what will you do? How do we know if this particular 7 we got, like the carryover we got, if it is a 1-digit number or a 2-digit number? Okay, so we will save this particular value in our linked list. I mean, like in our answer linked list. So how do we do that? We can do something like answer dot val. So in this case, answer dot val will be always the first node, is equal to carry modulus 10. So what this will do is, this will be performing a function something like 7 modulus 10, which will be equal to 7. So we know that there is no carryover for this, right? Because if it would have been divisible, the remainder would have been 0, but in this case it is not divisible, which means that there is no carryover for this. So we can just save 7 inside our answer.val. So answer.val will have, okay, like we won't do that just yet. Oh yeah, okay, we can do that now. We'll just save 7 in this. So now what do? We have to check if our carryover, that is 7, if it is 2-digit or not. How do we find out that? We can just do carry equals to, we can do floor division for this. So we do 7 divided by 10, we'll get the answer as 0.7, which will be equal to 0. So the carryover is 0, all right? So now we are back to square one. We have carryover equal to 0. So now carryover is equal to 0, right? Okay. Now it will go on towards, now it will again loop. So it will again check if L1 has any elements. So now L1 has 4. So carryover equals 0 plus 4. So 0 plus 4 is equal to 4. So we'll have 4 here. Then L1 dot, L1 equals L1 dot next. So now the pointer will move from 4 to 3. Now Now what will happen? So now we'll do the same thing for L2, right? So for L2 we can do carry plus L2 dot val. So in this case it will be 6 plus 4, which will give me the answer as 10, right? Okay. So now L2 equals L2 dot next, which will update the value of the pointer to 4. Okay. So now this is so now for carry we got a 2-digit number, right? Okay. How do we know that? So the same steps we can do something like, actually the first thing we have to do is, after we got 7, we have to check if L1 or L2 had any values or not. So so like in this case we had 4 and 6, right? So we could make a new list node. So when we make a new list node, we'll get something like this. All right. Okay. And then we'll change the pointer from the original one to answer dot next. All right. Okay. So now we got the carry over right here, right? Okay. So we can do answer dot val. It'll be equal to, we can just do modular division for this. So this will be equal to 0, right? So answer dot val equals to 0, because 10 divided by 10 will give you 0 as the answer. Okay. Now what is the carryover? You have to find the carryover. Carryover equals to carry floor division with 10. The answer will be 1. So now the carryover value gets updated to 1. All right. So from 10 it gets updated to 1. Okay. Now we have to check if L1 or L2 or carry has any elements in them. So now in this case L1 has an element, L2 also, and L2 has an element, and even carry has an element. All right. So now we'll make a new node for our answer linked list. So the new node will be made like this. We'll have something like this, and we'll do answer equals answer dot next. So our active pointer will come to this node. So now what will we do? Okay, so now we'll do the exact same thing. We have to check if L1 has any element. So now L1 has an element. Okay, so we have 3 as the element of L1, right? So carry plus equals to L1 dot val. So we'll have 1 plus 3, which will give you the answer as 4. So now the value of carry is 4. So now L1 is equal to L1 dot next, right? But L1 dot next, whoops, okay. So now L1 dot next won't have any value, right? So like it'll be empty. So now it'll like go out of the list node, like it's empty now. All right. So now we'll do the same thing for L2. If L2 has any element, so now L2 has 4. So we can do carry plus equals L2 dot val. So it's equal to 4 plus 4. That will give you 8 as a carryover now, right? Okay. And then we'll do L2 equals L2 dot next. So even L2 will go out of range. Okay, let me split this. Okay. So now what will happen? Now we have to check if L1 or L2 or carry has any elements inside. L1 has no element inside, even L2 has no elements inside, but carry has, right? Carry has an element. And before doing this, we have to add it, right? So answer dot val will be equal to carry mod 10, which will be equal to 8. So we can put 8 here, and the carryover for this will be equal to 8 floor division 10, which will be equal to 0.8. So 0.8 will be 0, right? Which means that this will be having no carryovers. Okay, so now that's basically it. So now what will we do? We have to check if L1, so now we have to update the value of carry to 0, right? Like, because we got 0.8 and that's 0. Okay, so now we have to check if L1 or L2 or carry has any elements. No, it doesn't have any elements, which means we can break out of the loop. So this is our answer right here, right? Okay, now what should we return as our answer? If we return L3 as our answer, we'll get only 8, because now like L3 stands for only 8, right? That is why we stored a value called head, which will have our entire answer inside it. So we can return head as the answer. So yeah, that's basically it. Now this is how you solve this particular list node question in Leetcode, right? So now let's get into the coding part of this. So hopefully you guys understood the explanation part of this. So now I'll be going through it, to the programming part very briefly per se. So let me, oh, I just did this before and I got the wrong answer. Anyways, let's do it. Okay, so what do we do now? First thing we want to do is make a variable head which will hold the original value of an answer. And we have to also make a list node, right? So we can just put list node 0 and then our carry value, which will be equal to 0 now. So we have to check if L1 or L2 has any elements, like L1 or L2 or carry also. So then we check if L1 has any elements. So if L1, let me just put this in the next block. Okay, so I can just say if L1, then what can I do? I can do carry plus equals to L1 dot val. So in the first example it will be 2. Then I can do L1 equal to L1 dot next. So L1 dot next will be 4. I can just do the same thing for L2. I am too lazy to type it out. I'm sorry. I'll just copy paste this. So let's say I want L2 here and I want L2 here and I want L2 here and I want L2 here. Okay. So after doing this, you have to find out the answer. So the answer dot val will be equal to what? It will be equal to carry mod, and then I can put the carryover as carry flow division. So this will give me the value of the carryover as well as the first node of our answer linked list. So then I have to check if L1 or L2 or carry has any values again. If it has any values, I can just do answer dot next is equal to list node, make a new list node. Oh, it's not, oh, it's 0. Okay, anyways, then I can do answer equals to answer dot next, right? So we have to move the pointer towards the next node, answer dot next, and that's basically it. And then at the end you return head, which has the entire answer linked list. Let's run this and see if it works. Hopefully it does. Oh, it's actually carry, I missed the Y. Okay, let's see if it works now. There you go, it works. Now let me submit this and see if it gets submitted. So there you go, it's faster than 87.39% of all the submissions. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys understood the concept. You have any doubt, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be sure to answer them. And if you have any recommendations for new videos, please do leave them down in the comment section below and I will make a video on them. So yeah, that's it for this video and bye.